Formula One leaves the summer break and heads over to Zandvoort as well, a beach resort to kick us into the second half of the season. Just 10 races remain then in the 2023 campaign. Max Verstappen has a chance to equal the great Sebastian Vettel and Michael Schumacher with 9 victories in a row here this weekend. Going after a week later with the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, the last of the European races before the flyaways begin with Singapore and Japan. Then it's a sprint race in Qatar back on the calendar and the United States at Austin, Texas. Then it's Mexico, the last sprint race in Sao Paulo before under the lights for our Saturday race at Las Vegas, and the season rounds out on the 26th of November in Abu Dhabi. In the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen leads on 314 points, well clear now of Sergio Perez on 189, who is only 40 points clear. Fernando Alonso in third on 149. Lewis Hamilton is closing him in though, 148. Then it's Charles Leclerc and George Russell level on 99. Carlos Sainz is 92 with Lando Norris on 69, Stroll on 47 and Esteban Ocon on 35. Piastri on the second page has 34 points, followed by Gasly on 22. Albon has 11, Hülkenberg 9, Bottas on 5, Zhou on 4, Tsunoda 3, Magnussen 2. Still no points for Sargent. De Vries no longer in the championship, but Daniel Ricciardo also no points so far. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way on 503 points. Mercedes on 247. Red Bull double in the Constructors' Championship ahead, a real milestone, winning every race so far this year. Aston Martin has dropped back to third on 196, now just 5 clear. Ferrari on 191. McLaren have 103. Alpine with not finishing the last couple of races on 57. Williams and Haas level on 11. Alfa Romeo on 9 and AlphaTauri only on 3. Let's take a look around this circuit. Zandvoort in the Netherlands, a 2.646 mile circuit, 14 turns, elevation changing up and down, 3 bank corners as well, and one of the best circuits on the calendar to return to Formula One. Get a good launch at the last corner of the banking and hurtle down towards turn number 1 of Tarzan. 8th gear flat out, hit the brakes with around about 70 metres to go. A long sweeping double apex right-hander which tightens towards the pit exit. Turn 2 and 3 fall together as well, and now into the banking. Take a low line, let the car drift up high if you need it. It's not going to compromise too much on your overall lap time. Now coming through the dune section as well, really get the car up to speed as you take several parts of the track flat out. Lift off the brakes ever so slightly, drop down 2 gears down to 6. Full throttle now, drop down 5th gear, flick the car into the right, then back down 5th, 4th, 3rd, flick the car in once again and get back on the power. Turn 9 and 10 now. Hard on the brakes, to the left, double apex again, lighten the power and then open up the DRS zone as well. Continue with the power down towards the chicane, another heavy braking spot as well. Have to tarmac on the inside line as well to stop gravel coming onto the circuit. It's very tight, twisty, slow, stoppy section. Now it's all about the banking, the last corner here at Zandvoort. Get a good entry into the last corner and then boot it hard. Don't lift off the brakes once, keep the car to a low centre line. More degree there at the last corner there is at turn 1 at Indianapolis. Across the line, and that is a lap of Zandvoort. Did you miss us? Welcome back to Formula One in 2023. We've completed 12 races and now we have the sole remaining 10 to take us through to the end of the season. So much to look forward to as well. But Max Verstappen dominating the World Championship. He's won 8 races running. Can he win the 9 here and match everybody? It's looking to be absolutely amazing. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to your weekend preview. The summer break has come and gone, and it hasn't really been much of a summer here in the UK as well. Hopefully, everyone around the world, you've all enjoyed it, and hopefully, you've all had a good one getting ready for this weekend, because we are back for 72 laps of the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort as well. Right, let's catch you up with what's happened over the summer break then as well. To begin with, Mercedes have announced that F2 title contender Frederik Vesti will be making his FP1 debut at the Mexico City Grand Prix later on in the year as well. Further on as well, Alpine in no hurry to score a new team principal after the management swaps as well. Of course, that was what was announced during the Belgium Grand Prix weekend, that Otmar Safnauer has left the team. He's now gone on a year's gardening leave. Alain Permane also leaving, as well as Pat Symonds. We understand that the latter of the two might be picked up elsewhere. Pat Symonds obviously we now going to Williams, but Alain Permane could be going to Red Bull. There's still a lot of ums and ahs about that one going in the future. Further on as well, it's been frustrating for Mercedes that it's still not going to win in the first half of the season. The car looks like it's gone backwards. Hopefully they've spent the last 2 weeks looking good. Tsunoda says that his car is flying at Spa. He's getting more and more used to it, more and more becoming more of a team leader alongside Danny Ricciardo. It's looking good there. Aston Martin identified main weakness of their car, and they said sorry. There was an update from the Belgian Grand Prix onwards. The car wasn't performing well. They've gone back to an older chassis now coming into the Dutch Grand Prix, so hopefully Aston Martin are going to be looking okay as well. Further on, there's been a couple of things going through with Formula One, mainly the announcement coming through that Felipe Massa has started legal proceedings against the 2008 World Championship for allegedly Bernie Ecclestone saying that he, Max Mosley and Charlie Whiting knew before the end of the 2008 season that Nelson Piquet Jr. had crashed on purpose in Singapore and everything. So, yeah, Massa is now going after it, claiming that he's the rightful world champion. I'm sure you've all seen that going through. Looking forward as well to what's been happening. Verstappen says Norris' form is not a surprise after McLaren's quite incredible resurgence. McLaren slipped back at Spa with it being a dry race after a wet sprint, but hopefully looking like they're going to have a much better weekend here. So McLaren still back in the mix as well. The main news has been coming in the past few days, though, with everything that's been gearing up to the start of this weekend. Robert Schwartzman will take FP1 this weekend. He will be in the seat for this weekend for Carlos Sainz in first practice, and then most likely Abu Dhabi in the seat for Charles Leclerc, as they have to give up everything one per one. It looks like it's going to be a wet weekend as well, but Verstappen sets clear goal for himself as the season resumes here. He wants another race victory, 3 in a row here at Zandvoort as well. Rain in the air, looking to be very dramatic. There's so much news that has gone on over the winter break as well. We'll be doing it all in free practice 1 tomorrow in the commentary box, going through everything you've missed as well. But right now, let's hear what the drivers have to say. They're in the press conference with Tom Clarkson.
Formula One is back after the summer break, and welcome to our drivers' press conference ahead of the FIA Formula One Dutch Grand Prix. Now, in this first group, Lance Stroll can't make it for medical reasons, so we have just the 4 drivers: Max Verstappen closest to me, George Russell, Fernando Alonso and Daniel Ricciardo. So guys, welcome back. Max, if we could start with you, please. First of all, how was the summer break for you?
Yeah, it was good. Just enjoyed time with the family, and yeah, just pretty relaxed. Slept a lot, which I think was also important. So yeah, it's very good.
And were you able to switch off from Formula One?
Yeah, I mean, of course, the summer break is a bit different to like the winter break, but enough, yeah.
And what a place to get back in the car, your home race at Zandvoort. Can you just tell us, what is it like to be you here in front of these orange grandstands?
I wouldn't wish that on anyone. No, no. It's a great weekend for me to come to. I mean, it's honestly, it's great to see all the fans next to the track, and it's also an amazing track to drive. You know, so all of those things together makes it, a fun weekend.
And let's talk about objectives. It's been an amazing first half of the year for you. What are the goals, both for this weekend and for the remainder of the season? Try to keep on doing the same thing. That would be nice. But of course, after a break, you never know how you get back into things. Also at the track, and also the weather. What is forecasted, I think, is always a bit more tricky. But we'll see. We have a quick car, but it's again about putting everything together. To have a really strong weekend. And how much does the team's unbeaten run this year play on your mind and on the minds of everyone in the team? I mean, honestly, I don't think we really think about it too much, because we just want to, look ahead and, try to always bring the best possible car to the track. I think everyone is always trying to, prepare in that way. And, of course, we want to win here. That's, there's no secret about that. How magical would that be? You've won from pole for the last 2 years here at Zandvoort. To do it again? Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite places to be, and to win, of course, is always very special here. So for sure, that's the target for the weekend. All right, Max, well done. Thank you. George, coming to you now. We saw on Instagram that you tried a lot of water sports during the break. How many did you master?
None. No, it was good to sort of branch out and do some of these things. I think, historically, I never really wanted to do any of additional sports, especially in the season, in case of injury. But I felt like I wanted to try something new and keeping my senses alive. Trying the foiling and a few injuries along the way, but it's fully recovered now and looking forward to the weekend. A few injuries along the way. Yeah, I mean, when you fall off a foil board and you land on the ego, is hurt. There's a lot of videos I didn't post of falling off big time. So I really enjoyed it, to be honest. I think for a lot of us, when you're so focused throughout the year, just to have 2 full weeks doing nothing, you get a bit bored after a bit of time. So to have a bit of an activity, it was quite fulfilling to sort of make some progress and not fall off by the last days. Is it true that you bumped into Daniel at some point in the break? So fortunate. No, it was good. It was good. We both knew we were going to the same place. Bumped into Logan as well. So yeah, it was. Was that at the salad bar? Yeah. Daniel was very well behaved. I was pretty impressed. So I think Daniel had done his partying for 6 months prior. So no, it was a good week. Now let's look at the rest of the season, George. 10 races to go. What are your goals? Yeah, I think we want to just keep on progressing. I think as a team, we're in a good position in the Constructors' Championship. P2, we've sort of made progress in the fight with Aston Martin. McLaren are obviously looking pretty strong, but we want to keep on improving. We obviously would love to win a race this year, but Max and Red Bull are really, really strong. But I think the goal for us now is to seal that P2 in the Constructors. You finished second here at Zandvoort last year from P6 on the grid. Do you expect the car to be as competitive this year? I see no reason why not. I think it's these type of circuits are high downforce circuits. We tend to go well. Budapest, we were fast. Here, it was probably one of our most competitive circuits, along with obviously Brazil. But we don't know what the weekend's going to bring. The weather again looks very up and down. But I think it doesn't matter the conditions. I feel that we can have a strong weekend. All right, George, thank you. Good luck with that. Fernando, coming to you. How was the break? Did you bump into these guys as well?
No one. I was in Spain, but it was in my hometown, not Ibiza, not Mallorca, not these places. So yeah, a little bit of family, relaxing, and getting ready for the second half.
How easy do you find it to relax mid-season?
Quite easy. Yeah, why not? Yeah, we all need a little bit of time off. More than us probably is the team, the mechanics. Everyone needed that break, especially after July with 4 races. And yeah, I think it's going to be quite demanding now with some back-to-back races, always flying around, and the last two obviously Vegas and Abu Dhabi quite far away. So yeah, batteries are fully charged.
And I guess that time at home gave you a chance to reflect on the first half of this year. You scored points in every race. Just sum up those opening 12 races for us.
Let's say it was unexpected in a way, how competitive the team was. From the first race, we found ourselves in a very strong position, so we maximized every opportunity in the first few races, and then in the last few events we were maybe not as competitive as the first part of the year, but we still score points, as you said, in every single weekend. And now in the second part of the year, I think we want to go back to a more competitive position. I think everything is so tight now behind Red Bull with Mercedes, Ferrari, Aston Martin, McLaren. So we want to be in that fight until Abu Dhabi, and that's the aim.
But Fernando, how do you recapture that early season form?
I don't know. I think this is Formula One, and these things are changing so quickly. So I think it was a surprise for us. The car was fast, but I think the team was outstanding over the winter, understanding what the problems were last year, and yeah, I think reliability, everything, strategy, we did things really good in most of the races to get those results. You know, it's not only the pace of the car, you need to master everything in the weekend from free practice 1 until Sunday. And then, yeah, I think we are like playing in Champions League at the moment, and we are finding ourselves, you know, with a very top teams, trying to overdevelop as well, off track, you know, and this is going to be the biggest challenge for Aston Martin now.
You've got some improvements on the car this weekend. What are you hoping from them?
To get a clear direction, not only for this year but also for next year in terms of direction on the car. I think in Canada we brought some new parts as well in Silverstone, and now these new aerodynamic parts that we bring here hopefully are performing as we expect.
Back on the podium?
I hope so.
All right, look, good luck with that. Thank you. And Daniel, coming to you now. Now, at Spa, you said that you were going to spend the summer break working on your fitness. What kind of shape are you in now?
You tell me.
You're looking great, I have to say. But were you working on power? Were you working on endurance? What do you get up to?
No,
endurance in FIFA.
Stop it. Well, I think in a way, George said it. You know, I think I had so much off time this year relative to running a full schedule. So I'd kind of had my break and my time off, and so yeah, I didn't need the summer break. Obviously, I know everyone else did, and I understand that. But yeah, I'd had mine, so it was really just a good chance for me to catch up a little bit while the others were switching off, and I still definitely had a good time and yeah, switched off from racing, but I was certainly looking after more than I usually would on a summer break. But I think as well, this kind of second chapter of my career, I am feeling just different about things, and I feel like at least right now where my head's at, I'm in a very good place, and yeah, taking it seriously. I mean, not obviously putting like unnecessary pressure on myself or anything, but just have some goals to achieve and some things to chase. So that's where I'm at.
What are your goals?
To be fast. Yeah.
Well, how do you reflect on the 2 races so far that you've done for AlphaTauri?
I think it was well. Firstly, I'm definitely thankful to get the 2 races before the break. I think a more conventional way was to put me in for the second half of the season, and but having those 2 races and then the break to reflect on it, but also then work on some things now coming into the weekend, I think that was really beneficial. So I think when the team told me it was going to happen very soon, part of me was like, oh, maybe we should wait for the break, but I'm personally very happy that they they kind of threw me in a little bit the deep end, and I think it prepared me a lot better for the second half of the season. I think Budapest I honestly couldn't have asked for much more on that weekend. I was really happy with my performance and how I got into it. And then Spa, I think let's say the little bit of a mistake in qualifying on the Friday then affected the Sunday. But I think the approach was right, and I just obviously paid the price for let's say trying a little bit too hard probably. But then Saturday kind of cleaned up a few things. Obviously it was its own day, but I was happy with the quality in the race. So overall it's been good. Just I'll keep working on it, but I feel like I've hit the ground running and feel content.
Great, thanks guys. Let's open this to the floor now. Please remember to give your name and publication. First one, please.
David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Welcome back, everybody. Surprisingly, a question for Max, as we're here at Zandvoort. As you go for 9 wins in a row this weekend, you still say that it's not a formality and that there's plenty of competition out there, but your boss, Christian Horner, says that it's a little less stressful on him than it was, say, 2021 this season, and he rather prefers the fact that Red Bull are dominating, unsurprisingly too. What do you think, though, as a racing driver? When Mercedes were dominating, Lewis was very much saying that I want competition, I want someone to go wheel to wheel with me. Is that where your head's at? You'd rather win by having competition on the track, or are you rather happier to have a nice straightforward Sunday afternoon?
No, I mean, I would rather, of course, have a very straightforward race all the time, but that only happens maybe once or twice, in your career, in a year, like that you have a season like that. But again, we're also racing drivers ones that, the teams are a lot closer and you are racing, then for me that's also fine. But of course, it's always a bit more relaxing to win it more comfortably.
Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of our drivers' press conference here at Zandvoort. And we have 5 for you in this section. Nearest to me, Zhou Guanyu, then Kevin Magnussen, Logan Sargent, Pierre Gasly, and Carlos Sainz. Now, Kevin, please, can we start with you? Because the big news this morning is that you and Nico will be at Haas in 2024. Fantastic for you. Can we just start by getting your thoughts on a 7th season with the team?
Yeah, 7 seasons. It sounds like a lot. It didn't feel like that many, but very happy to continue. Of course, we have a job to do right now, and it'll be really fulfilling to see the progress into next year that we're working on right now. And I know this team very well. It's my home in Formula One. It's great to have another year on it.
You know the team very well. You know Jean and Gunther very well. Just how straightforward were the negotiations? Was it very easy? Same again, please.
Yeah, pretty much. It's always very simple with those guys, and again this time it was not really any long negotiations and stuff. It's always very simple, so that's good.
Now, you said a moment ago that we have a job to do. Does Haas have everything it needs to challenge at the front of the midfield in 2024?
I think so. It's so tight that I think every team feels like they can do that. We've seen some teams make very big progress this year, and we haven't really done that. I think we've kind of stalled in our development with the car. We're in a very good place, as a team. In a place that we haven't really been in before. I think it's a very healthy team right now. Just we are under delivering on the car, and I think there's all the ingredients that we need to make that step forward, and I think we can do that probably even this year, hopefully, but certainly into next year there should be a good chance.
And can you tell us about your relationship with Nico Hülkenberg? How do you complement each other? How is he different to your previous teammates?
He's doing a good job. That's the most important thing. I think it's nice to be working with an experienced driver, and it's nice to be fighting someone who's super quick and and always on it in both, you know, qualifying and the race. There's stuff to learn from him, and that's also, you know, racing my game. So I think that's a good driver pairing, and you know, I work well with Nico, and I think we respect each other well, and you know, can benefit of each other.
And bringing it on to this weekend, you have some upgrades on the car. What can we expect from you, Nico, and the team?
I think it's a small upgrade. It's not. I don't even think, you know, we're expecting any increase in downforce as such. It's more, you know, cleaning up some stuff and you know, working on our tire issue that, you know, we get very hot tires, and I think that's part of the upgrade is trying to resolve that or help that issue. So hopefully that can be an advantage and a big step forward. But you know, as ever, you know, there's some work to do every time you bring upgrades, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, thank you, Kevin, and many congratulations on the new deal. Joe, can we come to you now? You went back to Shanghai during the break. How was it?
Yeah, it was. Firstly, yeah, great to see you all here. Yeah, it was a good time to be back. Haven't been back in summer for such a long time, so it was nice to get some like 36 degrees temperature weather, getting ready a little bit for Singapore coming ahead. But yeah, good time. Just decide to fully switch off, just to reset a bit away from internet, from social media, just to having a good time and mentally, mainly reset for the coming races.
There hasn't been a Chinese Grand Prix since 2019. What sort of reception did you have in Shanghai?
It was actually great to be back there, because I went back. Firstly, I had a few days together with the sponsor of the team and also my personal people, and it's just great to see so many people just turns up for some events. And yeah, the popularity also, the motorsport is growing, especially I think for the young generation back in China. The people is, you know, maybe 10 years younger than me, 5 years younger. They know so much about Formula One in general. So it just shows how much this platform has been improving, not just in the US state, also back home in Asia also. So it's good to have that. And I think most importantly, the home race is coming back next year. So really looking forward to what's coming.
Now, the summer break also provides a chance for some reflection. When you think of those 12 races that started the year, what were you pleased with? Where do you feel the team needs to improve?
I think the most important part is that I'm trying to raise a little bit my game in terms of just improving performance, and the weakness last year I wasn't maybe as good as qualify one lap pace, and also the start was very inconsistent for our team, and this year we definitely be a lot more, let's say, to the point compared to where we were last year, but we're definitely missing a little bit of performance in general. Expected a lot more, of course, but so it's not been an easy season, but let's say it's clear for the goal second half season. You know, we want to achieve that P7 Constructor Championship, and it's very close between us, AlphaTauri, and also Williams Haas. So I think we can still do that, and a few upgrades coming for the next few races, but not here. So we're looking forward to that.
And Joe, Kevin knows what he's doing in 2024. When do you expect to hear?
I mean, it's been obviously going on talking together before the summer shutdown, and also I think now we are still discussed together with the team. Like I said, happy place to be right now, and also knowing the team moving forward in the future, heading off to a Works team, so it's good for us. And for my side, I think I'm just trying to do the maximum I can here on the track, and the rest is up to a time, up to, you know, more further detailed discussion together. But I think, let's say this time last year, I was a lot more nervous than I am now. So just hopefully I'm able just to setting everything down and have a good future ahead planned.
All right, well, look, best of luck with that and with the coming race weekend. And Logan, if we could come to you now. How was the break? We know, because we found out in session one, that you bumped into a couple of other Formula One drivers.
I did. It was nice just to get a few weeks to step away, you know, really reset, reflect, recharge the batteries. And yeah, it was nice to be able to fully disconnect from racing for a little bit and just enjoy a bit of time with friends and family. So that was nice. And yeah, did bump into George. Was good to see him, and yeah, it was a nice break.
You say it gave you a time to reflect. What conclusions did you draw about the opening 12 races?
Yeah, just, you know, accepting the challenge of what the first half of the year was, you know, understanding how I need to improve, but at the same time just, you know, trying to enjoy every moment of the season so far. And I think, you know, I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do in the second half of the season, and I feel like having that chance to reset and come back ready to attack and just try and maximize my performance.
You say you know what you need to do in the second half of the season. Can you share with us your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just need to clean things up. You know, I've made some costly mistakes this year at the wrong time, and I feel like if I can clean those up, be a bit more consistent, and yeah, if I can deliver the way I know I can deliver, everything will be good.
And when you look back at the races, Silverstone was your best result, 11th. What was the car doing there that enabled you to have such a good result? Okay, annoyingly just outside the points, but how do you replicate that?
Yeah, I think it's just, you know, sometimes you put the car on the ground and it's in a better place some weekends than others. And, you know, I think Hungary and Spa didn't quite work out for us. But, yeah, we just need to be hopeful, keep trying to work to put the car in the best place heading into each weekend. And hopefully another opportunity arises for me and the team.
And what about this weekend?
I think looking at the characteristics of the track, it's not going to be an easy one for us, to say the least. But again, mixed conditions look like they're on the horizon, and hopefully we can capitalize on that if it comes. And yeah, it on paper isn't great for us, but we'll make the most of it.
And final one from me, it is about your future. Kevin knows what he's doing. Joe says he's in a comfortable place. What about you?
Yeah, I think just from my side, I just need to, you know, worry about improving, you know, show a good step from the first half of the season going into the second, and yeah, just work on improving myself, and as long as I do that, all should be good.
All right, Logan, thank you. Good luck with everything. Pierre, coming to you. So the break, how was it? I saw you playing golf. In fact, you were quite busy, weren't you?
No, I must say I've loved having a couple of weeks of yeah, of the craziness and the fact of being busy and you know, having a bit more downtime with the family, with the friends, and being able to recharge and do the stuff that you like. Being an uncle for a few days, a brother, a son, and just yeah, enjoying some bit of party with my friends as well. So I feel definitely mentally, physically recharged and very energized for the second part of the year. And yeah, I was just telling Carlos, I was lucky enough to do my first eagle of my life during the summer, which brought a huge happiness and a huge smile, which was followed the next day by my worst golf game ever. So it's pretty frustrating sport, but at the same time, I managed to yeah, improve some of my paddle and my golf game, so really happy with that.
Golf's funny, isn't it? The more you play, the worse you get. That's how I find it anyway.
Well, he knows more about it. Yeah, he knows more about it, but you know, I kind of build up the confidence, and then I hit 18 hole scores and played my worst game ever, and yeah, I was all that confident that I built up. I need to restart all of it again, but no, it's just good, you know, to have this free time and be able to yeah, do different activities and kind of put motorsport away for a few days. Yeah.
Can we talk about motorsport though?
Sure.
Some senior management changes were announced over the Spa weekend just before the break. What sort of an impact do you think that will have on the team?
Yeah, obviously it's a couple of changes which occurred in the last weekend of in Spa, but I think all in all it's looking at making the next step for the team, sort of evolutions. It's not a complete restructuration of the entire team. So you have new people in new roles with some experience, with a lot of experience in motorsports, and I think it's a good opportunity, very good opportunity for the team to kind of make that next step. Yeah.
And how important was your third place in the sprint at Spa just to keep everyone motivated?
Well, I think it's not a surprise to everyone that we've all been quite disappointed with the results in the start of the season. We haven't matched the expectations which were set, and you know, it's like everyone. Like if you don't get the result, you kind of feel some disappointment. The mood is slightly down a bit, and I think it was mostly important to keep all the guys extremely motivated, still in a positive mindset, and you know, just based on all the smiles that I've seen after the top three in the sprint, you could see it, like just the next day the energy and the positivity inside the garage was just different, and that's what we need to build up on for the next few weekends. We don't have the best package, but we're still able to you know, get some strong results at time, and we'll try to do that and achieve that every single time we can this until the end of the year.
Pierre, tell us a little bit more. Excuse me. Tell us a little bit more about the package you have in that car, because your technical director Matt Harmon believes you can have the 4th fastest car by the end of this season. Do you agree with him? Do you believe genuinely in that?
I think this was quoted quite a long time before the summer break. So you know, I don't want to go into too much details about that. This was the clear target at the start of the year. I think now we just need to take race by race and just try to make the best we can with the package we have, and we'll see at the end of the year where it put us. But any things we can learn in the coming weeks and coming months will be useful for next year's car as well, which is crucially important if we really want to make the next step, which is the target for all of us in the team, and that's where the focus will be going.
And what about this weekend here in Holland?
Be happy with some rain. So last time out in Spa, it worked out pretty well for us. So I think it always gives more opportunities and more chances. I think on the dry, we know we are there for the points. It's a very tight battle in that midfield, and can swing one way or the other very quickly, depending on if you're able to extract the maximum out of the car. But in mixed conditions, I think there's clearly more chances for us. So excited to see what's going to happen this weekend.
All right, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Carlos, coming to you. You look very relaxed and happy. How was the break for you?
Was very good, thank you. Yeah, standard, usual for me, time with family, friends, and just relaxing. You're still obviously in the middle of a Formula 1 season, no? So it's not like you suddenly stop thinking a bit about how the first half went, what could you do better on the second half. You still need to keep yourself fit and ready to go, because you are still racing in Formula 1, no? It's not like the winter break that you have a bit more time. So yeah, relax, but also switched on to go again.
Well, what is the mood at Ferrari coming into the second half of the season?
I think the mood is basically trying to understand as much as possible about this year's car. We are FP1s, FP2s every weekend, trying something different, you know, to try and understand these regulations and try to see where we may be lacking compared to obviously the reference Red Bull, and how we can make the 2024 car quicker. We're also spending a lot of time in the simulator, trying different things. Spending more time than ever really on getting the season turned around and putting everything that we can into place to get ourselves in a better place for next year mainly.
Okay, so you say you're trialing lots of things during practice. What aspects of this car please you, and where are the causes for concern?
Starting with the later one, I think it's no secret now that this year we've lacked some consistency from the car. It's very difficult to predict which circuits we're going to be quick and which we're not going to be quick. I think the best example was the difference between Hungary and Spa. No? I think when you see our car, we expected Hungary to be a good weekend. We expected Spa to be a weaker one, and it was actually the opposite, which shows that there is maybe something intrinsical that we don't fully understand and we cannot predict very well. And this unpredictability, this lack of understanding is exactly what we are in focusing on now, to try and piece together everything. And this is where our focus is going to be this weekend and obviously in the second half of the season. On the good side of things, the car always offers some good opportunities in qualifying to maybe qualify a bit ahead of what the race pace of the car might be. And if you do a good lap in quali, maybe you can hold on to a podium place. You know, if you then have a smooth race without too many troubles. So, yeah, focus will be in getting the car again quick on the race mainly, and try to hold on to those good qualifying sessions if we have the opportunity.
Well, talking of good qualifying sessions, both you and Charles were in the top 3 on the grid here last year. So, what are the prospects for this weekend?
Again, I don't know, because if you look at the track, you could say, yeah, should be a better one for us, but then you look at Hungary and it wasn't. So it is extremely difficult to predict right now for us this year. Also, I think the fact that the field is so tight, you know, with Mercedes, now McLaren joining us, there is still obviously Aston Martin and obviously Red Bull ahead of us. We are all within a tenth or 2/10 of each other every quali and every race. And if you're going to come out on top or behind of that battle, it means you can qualify P2, P3, or qualify P8, P9. So this performance swing, or let's say the result for such a small performance swing, is huge. So I think it will be tight again this weekend.
All right, best of luck. Thank you to all. Let's open this to the floor. Name and publication, please. Yep.
David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Carlos, let's have a chat about your car. You were just talking about it then. Sounds from the outside like Ferrari have no understanding on the car whatsoever. Is that fair to say? And if so, how disappointing as a driver do you find that after 12 races of a season?
We've done 12, there's 10 left. Well, we still have 10 to fully get to understand everything. And it's not a secret, no, that this year, since we were in Bahrain testing, we saw something in our car that we didn't fully comprehend, and we honestly very quickly identified what the main weakness of the car is, and this we know. Then there's other things like predicting which tracks you're going to be better than others. There's the wind sensitivity, there's the track temperature sensitivity that we have, which at the moment makes it a very picky car, but what we want is to understand exactly the reasons for that, and I think we're doing a pretty good job at trying completely different things and having different theories that we're putting together for next year's car, and hopefully next year it pays off. And at the moment we can only focus on that and doing everything we can.
Can I ask though, a good job at trying is different to a good job at understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything about this car that you now understand?
Yes. The core problem of the car, we do understand what it is, and we are, since the first developments of the year, we are trying to get it better, and the whole development program has been focused in improving that main weakness that we have. Then there's many other factors, you know, that we are also trying to figure out, but again, the differences are small. I think especially when you try and beat Mercedes, when you try and beat McLaren now, Aston Martin, it's all within a tenth. And what we need to focus in these last 10 races is putting the weekend together and see if we can finish on top of that second place in the constructors. That I think is not going to be easy.
It's going to be an interesting weekend for us here on JB Motorsports. Formula 1 and Formula 2 and the Porsche Super Cup. Don't forget, Porsche have got a double on this weekend as well. Alongside that, it's also IndyCar at the Bob Morado Automotive Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And also the British Touring Car Championship will be kicking off at at Donington Park Grand Prix circuit as well for the first time in over 30 years. So there's a lot to look forward to here on YouTube. You can join us tomorrow morning as well for first practice of F2 and then the session all set to go for FIA Formula 1. It's been a long time since Spa, but can Max Verstappen take another race victory in his home circuit? Join us throughout the weekend to find out. Thanks for your company. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.